It's okay. Ah.
11 piece of equipment, and then special reserve, and then you can choose between your Mako and Omega ground sets. The Omega ground set is more tactical, less defensive, and the Mako is more defensive.
Ooh, a ground one.
It wasn't intended, but here it is. We'll do space next.
Okay, let me switch to my weapon stuff.
I think I'll put some armor on.
Put some clothes on, Sarah.
It's kind of cold on this ship.
The Ambassador class. PvP ship? You may think not. But I'm about to prove so. Having survived the last match only dying once, and having killed once, I believe she may be viable with the correct tactics and the correct parts. But that is up for you to decide.
Okay, so Jupiter Force has had a party on their starbase to show off the season Tier 4, which is pretty cool. And this is the party on the instance inside the base. There might be a few people outside still. I'm not sure. Sure, they're making their way inside, and this is what we're looking at for now. So we'll see people later. This week on Trek, we look at the Carrier Command Pet UI. So I'll turn the video on now. Alright. And here we are. The audio podcast is now going, and that is found at Trekt Radio, all one word, Trekt Radio, .caster.fm. You can go there and you can listen. And then we have several other podcasts we're gonna have. Well, currently we have one podcast, and the rest are radio shows and just, general radio. The radio, we try to do a mix of everything so that, everybody's covered. If you don't like a certain song, just tune out during that song, or, ignore it, whatever. But yeah, let me find the poll here, and we're going to go see the carrier. Now, we're on holodeck. Since it released the holodeck today, we're going to go see what the carrier UI and everything's like. I think I'm going to try it in an SDF, because I think carrier, especially with this new UI, I think carrier and their pets could be well used in Khitomer Accord Vortex. Terradome is now complete, so I guess did they remove Terradome or something? Just a second. I was very surprised, but the carrier pet command actually worked pretty well in this STF watch. So those of you who missed the live podcast yesterday on the audio and would have heard a good amount of cussing because Cryptic made it so that when they added the UI command thing, it reset all of the bars. So I had to reset my bars, and that's what this is. This is just, I don't even remember what all I had on this bar up here. I hope that fires off fast enough. I think I had that so that everybody would be bathed there. And then after that, I am absolutely completely lost. I don't even know what half my powers I have available to me because they're all back up here in P. Moral of the story, if you're going to do a podcast, log in as soon as the damn server comes up, not 5 minutes before. So you can get in here and you can get your stuff set so you're not the jackass that has everything set wrong. I'm sorry for looking like a super jerk. I'm going to get this straightened out and then figure out where all the rest of my powers are going to go. What I do want to know from Cryptic is, why are these things that are only there when you're not in combat, like when you're just floating around with friends in Earth space, dock space, in the Sol system, why are they put on the power tray default all the time as though you're going to use those before you use something that can help you during combat? What have I got now? Satellite disruptor, so satellite phaser turret. Okay, 1 minute recharge, so yeah, that one could easily just stay where it's at. Let's see. Oh, yeah, no, it's not on there yet. Okay. As you can tell, I'm just a little frustrated yesterday with Cryptic, and to be honest, there's a few other things going on that just mixed together good enough to get me up there where I was a little huffy puffy bloaty, but I apologize for any horrible language. Sorry. Everything goes just where Cryptic wants it to go and not where you want it to go. Oh, I wanted to grab that. Okay. Fleet engineering team. Fleet photon. Torpedo platform. Fleet science. So that's going to be half the show, is me just setting my bar back up. Isn't that awesome? You'll get a kick out of it. Okay, let's put this over here so I can grant dip to somebody. Let's see. There you go. Now I gave him diplomatic immunity. Just testing my diplomatic immunity, bro. Okay, impulse burst is already on the list. Okay. We don't need those because they're already on the deal. Photonic fleet is listed. Don't need that there. Point defense system, though. We do need the point defense system. That's a 3-minute recharge, so it definitely will never go over there. Okay, let's see. Ground slipstream, so I can quantum slipstream. Yeah, I'd like to keep ramming speed on the bar somewhere where it's usable. Magic capacitors there. Subnuke. I'm just going to take a second to break in right here real quick. There's a spacebar.txt file that you can use as your load bind, your /bind load file. And if you put it in, if you go to the mocktar.engine.com and look it up, you should be able to find it there. It would be in part of the tactical builds. And what it does is the spacebar.txt puts everything on your tray 7. So if you've already known this and you've already got tray 7 set up, don't worry about it. But if you're new to the whole thing on the spacebar setup, go ahead and go try that out. You put it in your Star Trek Online folder, in its main folder. Then you turn around and you load it when you're in like the type of space you're in for combat. You're in system space. You hit you type that out, and you actually you type out slash bind underscore load underscore file space, and then type in spacebar.txt, and then when that loads off, when you hit the spacebar to already go ahead and start attacking, yes, you'll have to hit the spacebar repeatedly, but it'll fire off every ability that's on tray 7, and you keep your minute and under abilities up there. Maybe you can go a minute and a quarter, but for the most part, keep a minute and under, and that will be that'll be good right there.
Figure out something. I'm gonna have something not filled on the bar now, or we're gonna have to throw something else over from over here. But yeah. So let's see. Got that there. That's probably not even where I want that either, but that's fine. I guess I'll throw this one over here just so that that bar is completely full. Alright, so let's go into an SDF then and see what we got. I'm going to try for Khitomer Vortex Elite, and I'll try to be the Guardian. And then we'll see the carrier commands working. And
by the way, folks, just to put it out there, we are doing a live audio podcast on Thursdays at 12 noon Central Time in at Trekt Radio. All one word, just Trekt Radio, TREKED Radio. .caster.fm, and you can listen live there to the audio portion of what I'm recording. As I'm recording the video for Trek to Podcast, you all be able to hear a pre-show while I get set up, and which I guess can sometimes be pretty funny if I get in the right mood while I've discovered that Cryptic screwed something up or something, and then you can listen, and then if you're not able to watch the video on YouTube, but you can get the audio, eventually once I've got 100 likes, once I've got 100 votes or more, I can start recording the podcast and putting them up on that same website, trektradio.caster.fm, for y'all to be able to download. Now, to let me keep 3 of them on there at one time, now what I can do is I could probably download myself. I could probably download and put those on an archive somewhere else, make them available for download. Which, if I can, I will. So, if you get a chance, and that's not, the only thing we've got going on that radio station on the internet. We've also got, great music. We've got some rock and roll, some alternative, some pop, a little bit of country. Just kind of mixing it all up there. And it's going to play.
I engage. Yep.
That will play like 24/7. Then we'll break in for podcasts. We're going to have Admiral Zen Soji from the Mokhtar Fleet is actually going to be doing a PvP podcast based on his experience as a coach for the PvP boot camp. And also, we're going to have several different shows where they're going to be live DJ'd, because the other one, the 24/7 thing, is going to be not so live. And then as we go, we will add people's podcasts as fleet members in both fleets that are involved with Trek Radio. Get to where they feel they can do a podcast about something. We're going to let them podcast. So we're going to bring you some content, and for 22
minutes you've heard me.
This is now. This is happening. This is wow.
Isn't that awesome? So I'm not just the useless jerk. Let's go ahead. Let's set them both to attack target. Oh, are there no carriers pets available at the moment because I'm still in red alert, I guess? Or have they? No, they definitely have not been disabled for. I've set both. So, there we go. That's the new carrier pet AI right there. Now let's see, I'm going to set the one to intercept. Yeah, I'm going to set the
scorpions to intercept, and I'm going to step away from there, and now horrible probes. Now I'll assume my position over here and take on some probes. Although it looks like Maverick has them. Uh-oh. Looks like all of my fighters got caught in the blast. When the cube exploded. Let's get the full wings. Now they're both set to attack, so that's fine. So there won't really be any incoming in this particular mission. And, you know, that's just, you know, what it is here. Alright, yeah, alright. So we're flying around now. We're waiting. Oh, more probes. More probes. Always gotta get those probes. Can't let those probes get too handy with themselves. Let's see, let's throw that. Oh, and that cools down the Tychons, but let's go ahead and sub-nuke. Let's start turning before we get into the range of the gate. Alright, now we can throw an energy siphon. Okay, now that I'm down here and I'm in the position defending against probes, I can most certainly drop my speed down just a little and get out in front of them. Oh, look at that. They've already got that whole gate down over here. This team is great. Looks like I lost a few. That's okay, we can repopulate. And the ones that are been out there for 5 or 10 minutes, they've started growing smarter. We gotta swap back over to the cubes, or the probes, I mean. I was trying to help with the cube, but they really apparently didn't need my help there, so I'll just stick to program. Wow, some of my guys are just dying instantly. Look at that. Siphon, and let's science fleet, and let's shield, even though I don't really apparently need it. I just seemed like a fun thing to do there. Okay, I need to go just a little bit fast. Oops, I need to go just a little bit faster. I need to hit E, not Q, to do that. Okay. Thanks, big guy. Sorry, I had just a second of trouble there with the probes. Won't happen again, I hope. Trek Radio is the new radio station on the internet over at caster.fm. It's Trek Radio, one word, Trek Radio.caster.fm, and when you're there, you can listen to whatever's going on at the time. Right now, it is the audio version of the podcast as I record the podcast, the video podcast, and so there's an audio version going on, so that there is a listen live and audio live. and eventually, once I get 100, and this is where you guys can help. You know, if you like the show, if you like the podcast, if you like the ability to listen to some pretty cool music over the internet on the station, if you like what I'm playing, you know, give us a like and a vote there on that particular website, and get 100 votes, and we will be able to save the podcast. We'll be able to save the podcast and have them available for download. I may have to download them and then put them somewhere else for a download, because this particular one does only allow 3 saved podcasts at one time. But if you're all interested in downloading the audio podcast to listen later on, then I could figure out some place to put that podcast that you can have it and have it available to listen to. Oh, these guys are good. I think I got in on them really good. Well, now I can go the other side, and instead of fighting against probes, I can help with the gates, which I don't know how good these guys really are. We got 8 minutes to get the rest of the gates down, so let's go. I wonder if that's my friend Maverick, or if that's a different Maverick. Uncle McGiggles. I don't think that's my friend Maverick, but I can check that again. No, that's definitely not my friend Maverick, but that's okay. Also at Trek Radio, we have a Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Central Time. That's 2 p.m. Eastern and 11 a.m. Pacific. We will have Admiral Zen Soji of the Mokhtar Fleet, who is a coach in the PvP boot camp, will be having a PvP related podcast of his own right here on this very channel, on Trek Radio, and we'll put that out, and then we have a couple of radio shows. We have a radio show on Friday nights in the works. We're working on it. I don't think it's going to be ready for this week. It's on the schedule, just in case it is. But if not, don't be downtrodden. We will get it lined out and where it needs to be just as soon as we possibly can, and go from there. But that would be with Admiral Jamie of the Mokhtar Fleet, and he'll be doing a kind of a classic rock show. So, I realize, yes, that classic rock, there's some of that on the general broadcast, but his show will be oriented to it. And then on Sundays, and I believe that's around the same time on Sundays, will be a show for Admiral Nerion, who will be DJing as his character Near Gestalt, which is a Cation, so I guess you could say he's a cool cat, and he's going to play just about everything. He's got okay, so this STF is actually going pretty swimmingly. I like the UI code because, as it is right now, I can set one group for intercept so they can get the incoming. That would be the Scorpions. I'll set that way. But Yeah. Resistance is futile. The Borg should learn this pretty good and understand that it is. Their resistance is futile, so they should stop resisting. I don't know why I dropped that there. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, I'll agree on that. We didn't defeat the Notcher Scimitar, apparently. I think I rushed in and got too close. That's really a bad idea. Don't do that. It's not nice. It really upsets the gameplay and the rest of the guys. But, I mean, we've got the optional, so we can't lose the optional now. We can just... well, I guess we could if the mission ended up not being finished, but... it looks like the Notcher's almost looking in a mirror there. Let's just set the Scorpions back to attack. And I'll launch a new Stalker so that new Stalker can stalk. There we go, we won. Take my items. One board. Oh, that's not too bad at all. Those can either be sold or vendor trashed. The dilithium's nice, and that gave us a 34-minute podcast with you all on the live audio, and gave us on the video 34 minutes of watching the carrier command work. Okay, so admittedly 12 to 14 minutes of that was me griping about the power tray being reset and fixing it. Yeah, I know, gripe, but you know, sometimes it's just, you know, you gripe and you let off a little steam. Why that's on? I don't need that over there. Okay, now I'm going to leave the map. Me and my carrier pets. We're going to leave the map. That's it for the podcast. We're going to go back to the video, and we've dropped. Have we dropped? Or is it back? Okay, it's weird. It's hard to tell. It's very hard to tell. If we dropped out at all during the podcast, I am sorry. We'll work to get that better if that happened. If it didn't happen, great. Alright, so let's see. Let's go ahead. Let's look at the... Yep. Circasia. Let's see there. So let's beam up so I can make sure I got the UI exactly how I want or need it. And let's see. Loading the Sol system. Yep, there's my two carrier. I find that that's a horrible place for them, so what I do is I move them right here. They'll be just far enough above any incoming. You just made 85,000 energy credits. You know, that little deal that pops up off the top of the chat box, and then it's below the team status, so you can see what your team's doing. All right, now F12. Okay, and this shows you what your pet is. This is your pet, and this is your new summon. So I can now remove that summons from there, and I don't know why a large number of my powers are off the tray. Let me see stations. Make sure all stations are filled. Okay. Cool, because that was never there. I was never looking at 3 either. So if it cleared my 7 bar. It did, it cleared my 7 bar. For you, those of you who understand keybinds, I have it set up when I hit the spacebar. As you can see, my shield thing fires off when I hit the spacebar. And these were firing off, and they were all the different powers, so nice. Introduce a new UI and screw the entire system while doing it. Way to go, Cryptic. Way to screw the entire system while trying to advance something that's possibly going to be good. You know, just because you're adding a UI element doesn't mean you have to make it erase everything. There should be no reason why I can't retain on my hard drive, on my computer, exactly what everything is, where everything is. And now see, I can set carrier 2 to attack. I can set carrier 3 to escort, or intercept, or to return to dock. And where are they coming? Okay, now I can use attack and they'll undock. If that's working correctly. Yeah, it sounds like it. Sounds like they're launching back out now. And I can set them to intercept, so I can have a group that's set to intercept anything coming at me, and a group that's set to attack whoever I'm targeting. And I can even launch the second wing. So there's 2 wings of 3. This is a wing, this is a wing. And I've got to set my bar before I even go anywhere. That is just wonderful. Shit. Yeah, I love that. Pick them up to move them, and the dang thing. That makes me sick when they do this. No, you. Okay, and then once again, TrekkRadio.caster.fm. We're going to have around the clock radio, and we're going to have podcasts. We're going to have a podcast on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time to about 3 p.m. So about an hour worth of podcasting with Admiral Sensoji from the PvP Boot Camp. He's going to show you all some PvP stuff. You know, so give him a warm welcome when you hear his voice. Friday nights between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, we're going to have Admiral Jamie of the Mokhtar Fleet is going to have a rock show, which is going to involve some rock, some alternative, a little bit of everything. Let's see what else. Oh yes, JJ's Variety Hour or Variety Time Variety Show on Sundays about the same, about 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. You know, if you're in the Eastern Time Zone, your time zones are an hour ahead of the times I gave, and if you're in the Western Time Zone or Pacific Time Zone, then your hours are 2 hours before. And if you're in the general Europe area or UTC, we will be UTC -6 most of the year, UTC -5 during the summer. So that's it. That's this week's show. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good week. See you next time on Trekked.